Hello, I'm Clovis Casali. Welcome to our show, The New Normal. Thanks to the France 24 correspondents around the world, we bring you this week reports on a wide range of stories. From Mexico, Germany, Algeria, but first to Armenia, currently battling with its neighbour Azerbaijan over the breakaway territory of Nagorno-Karabakh. The two countries were once part of the Soviet Union, and since its fall, the new borders have remained in dispute, with Nagorno-Karabakh mostly populated by ethnic Armenians. From Armenia's capital, Yerevan, our correspondent Gulliver Cragg looks at the high level of mobilization, with reservists being called to arms.
Crowds at the military recruitment office. Some are volunteers, most have been called up. They await transport to Nagorno-Karabakh. Harutun Yesayan is here with his mother.
I have many feelings, but mainly I'm ready for them to call my name. I will go and see what I can do, how I can help others.
It is very difficult. I'm very emotional. I'm saying goodbye to my boy, but I have big hopes that we will win soon.
The mobilization in Armenia is not only about signing up for the army. Behind me, these volunteers in the center of Yerevan are collecting food and clothing.
We've got canned foods, coffee, potatoes, cucumbers. All the food is here. And over here are the clothes. And most importantly, pillows and blankets.
The donations come from individuals and companies. Teams of volunteers sort through them.
We send the food to the Ministry of Defence, which sends it to our soldiers. As for the clothes, we collect them for those people of Aktsar who are a bit worried and have come to Armenia for the sake of their security.
The flags of both Armenia and Nagorno-Karabakh are very much in evidence across Yerevan, where the war dominates all conversations.
Let's now head to Mexico. Like so many other countries, it has seen its economy severely damaged by coronavirus. Charities are now not only helping the homeless or the poorer parts of society, but also the middle class. Our reporter Mario Carbonell met with citizens who are going to soup kitchens for the first time.
In the refectory of this monastery in Mexico City, missionaries and volunteers prepare packaged meals for the needy all week long.
Pedimos al Señor que bendiga estos alimentos.
Mexico's ongoing health crisis has meant an explosion in demand for religious charities. Outside, dozens have been lined up since midday to get their box of food aid provided by the Mexican government. Javier coordinates the reception of bulk food and the distribution of meals.
Before we distributed 280 meals per day. Now we're at 480 because there's more and more unemployment. There are also a lot of single mothers coming in.
Mexico City has seen more than 1 million people lose their jobs due to the pandemic. Every day, new arrivals show up at this soup kitchen in the city center. Hilario is a veterinarian. He's also an archival researcher. The lockdown has cost him his job, and it's here that he must now come to eat.
My main source of income was archival studies. Unfortunately, with the pandemic, the archives are closed, and now I'm waiting to get back to work as a researcher.
9 kilometers to the west, it's the same story for this soup kitchen that serves local specialties. Like the monastery, it's seen its numbers steadily rise. The homeless now joined by the jobless. Among them, 20-year-old Diego, who was laid off when the courts shut down.
I worked in the courts, then as a janitor. I cleaned offices, but they closed too, and now there's no more work.
Pressure is building on social workers here as they do their best to ensure that food is provided to all who need it. In the second quarter, Mexico's poverty rate topped 48%. The National Council for the Evaluation of Social Development Policy says the pandemic could send another 10 million Mexicans under the poverty line.
In Europe also, coronavirus is making life harder for the more disadvantaged. Germany is trying a new concept, often described as unrealistic or unfeasible: the idea of a universal basic income. From Berlin, our correspondent explains how it works.
When he was offered a solidarity-based basic income in exchange for community work, Ingo didn't hesitate for a second. He used to live in the street. Now he helps his old friends improve their lives. He lends a hand at this food distribution center.
Du hast am Monatsende plötzlich noch Geld auf dem Konto. Man findet so eine gewisse innere Ruhe wieder auch. Das Schöne im Leben mitnehmen zu können, wie jetzt zum Beispiel mal ins Kino zu gehen, wieder vernünftig zu essen.
Like Ingo, 500 unemployed people are now testing the solidarity-based basic income in Berlin for a period of 5 years. The city finances jobs of general interest to help people out of poverty. The timing is perfect, according to the head of the association that hired Ingo.
Wir haben eine hohe Arbeitslosigkeit zu erwarten bei den wirtschaftlichen Schwierigkeiten, die wir aufgrund der Krise haben werden. Für diese Menschen ist es ein sicherer Hafen.
Because of the pandemic, the concept is part of public debate now. There are more and more experiments in Germany. Starting in 2021, 120 German citizens will get a minimum income, 1,200 euros a month for 3 years, and without conditions this time. More than 1.5 million Germans applied, a high level of interest driven by the downturn that came with the pandemic.
Die zeigen, dass auch unser enges Netz der sozialen Sicherung durchaus Löcher hat und sozusagen es Ideen braucht, auch die Ängste von Menschen abzufedern.
From utopia to reality, it's an idea on the march. As the pandemic spread, so too has the idea of a universal basic income, with testing underway now in places such as Canada and Spain.
Moving on to Africa and to the Democratic Republic of Congo, currently coping with a particularly tough rainy season. It has led to flash floods, notably near Goma in the North Kivu region. Our reporter Justin Kabumba sent us this footage on the situation and interviewed locals in the area. Here's what they had to say.
Kitu ambacho kinatuleta hapa ni ndugu yangu na mtoto yangu wenye walikuwa wanalima mshamba. Mvula wakati ilinyesha ikawaporomosha. Ile habari tukaipata wakati wa saa 11, ikatubidi population ikaniunga mkono, tukakimbia mtoni yote, basi ndio tumemkuta sasa hapa na ndio maana umetukuta.
Watu mingi basha kufa. Ndugu yangu tunaimbaka naye mkanisa Edake alifariki jana, tumemzika leo, wanaenda muzika batena muzika huku Luhonga. Hivi hapa na sisi tunalia sana, wakubwa wa nchi tunaweza penda watusaidie na sisi tuishi mzuri, watu wetu wanakufa sana.
Further up north on the continent, Algeria is looking at new sources of revenue. Tourism, of course, one of the routes explored for when COVID-19 is behind us. Algeria's coastline is largely untouched, with a lot of potential. For the time being, it's only attracting locals who are trying to forget about coronavirus altogether. Take a look at this report.
Summer vacations are almost over, and public beaches are still very crowded. Mahdi and his friends have chosen to come to this untouched beach in the region of Beni Hawa.
Vis-à-vis le corona, on a choisi cette plage-là parce qu'elle est une plage vide, parce qu'une plage inaccessible pour la distanciation sociale, pour ne pas contaminer les gens, pour ne pas être contaminé. Tout ça, ça fait partie d'un choix qui a été fait pour aller voir la plage de Beni Hawa et une découverte d'une nouvelle plage.
This young man says that this area is a perfect alternative.
Bon, نحبوا نجيو لهنا لهاد لا بلاج سوفاج باش نحب نبراتيكي سبور تاعي اللي نحبو. نحب ندير البادل، هنا ما كاينش بزاف غاشي، ماشي كيما في لي بلاج في الجي معمرين بلي جات سكي، الدراري صغار يلعبوا، تقدر تقيسهم، تقدر تبليسيهم، دونك هاد لا بلاج كيما هادي فارغه، تقدر دير واش تحب.
Mohammed is a sailor from Beni Hawa district. During the summer holidays, he transports campers in his fishing boat to the lesser-known destination.
أنا بحري نخدم لهنا صيف وشتاء. خدموا لنا في الصيف يجونا الناس نجيبوهم لهنا، نجيبوهم كرسات لنا يفوتوا لي جورني تاعهم، كان لي كومبي. لي بلاج هادو ما نجموش يجوا لهم ابي ولا بطونوبيل، لازم غير بالفلوكه.
Algeria has more than 1,400 kilometers of coastline, with breathtaking and spoiled beaches. The North African nation has a great potential and is increasingly looking to compete with neighboring countries in tourism.
That's it from us this week. I leave you with pictures and music from a charity concert recently held in Paris. All proceeds going to Lebanon, the country still reeling from the explosion at its port, and the Lebanese people need help and support. Thank you all for watching. See you soon.